Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie, and this is a channel where I document my experience on GLP-1 medication for weight loss. I guess technically I'm on the medication for sleep apnea. I'm coming up on a year, and so I wanted to update you all on my progress and give you the stats. So I wrote an overview down. July 12th of 2025, I weighed 229 pounds. I started out on Wegovy, on the 2.5 milligrams, and I remained on Wegovy for 16 shots, and I progressed from 2.5 up to 1 milligram. And at that time, I was informed that my insurance would not cover weight loss medication any longer, and I had a pre-existing condition of sleep apnea. So when we switched the conditions and the reason for me taking medication, the insurance provider approved Zepbound. So it took me a week. There's a week gap where I had no medication before the Zepbound arrived and I was able to take it. So during my Wegovy time, for the 16 shots, I lost 16.4 pounds. So I went from 229 down to 213.6. And so all throughout my journey, I've had an average of either 0.8 to 1 pound per week average weight loss. And it's been that way up until this week. So then upon starting the Zepbound, so what happened was my last weigh-in on Wegovy was 213.6. I missed a week, and I was still 213.6 when I started the Zepbound. But the first week of Zepbound, I went up to 216. So I'm assuming that's like a delayed reaction to not having the medication for 1 week. And then with the Zepbound, I've been on that for 33 shots, and I'm currently at the top dose of 15 milligrams. I did a couple different doses where I extended it out and stayed on whatever dose I was on. Mostly the reason why anytime I've upgraded my dose, it's been because like extreme food noise and actual driving hunger has come back 2 to 3 days before my next shot was due. And so I would find myself thinking I was hungry and then going through this conversation in my mind like, oh, you're not hungry. Oh, wait a little longer. Wait and see if you're hungry. And kind of trying to manage that self-talk. So that's when I would kind of be like, all right, it's okay to practice what happens if you feel hungry and how you're going to react to that, and the whole process of making choices when you are hungry. But then I didn't feel it was healthy to be telling myself I was hungry and then like telling myself that I wasn't hungry. I felt like that was just maybe disordered thinking. So I'm not yet a full year, but so for the 49 weeks total, I've lost 41.7 pounds. And I think that's an average of like around 0.8. One thing that I did find was that once I hit 190, I had up and down weeks. I had weeks where I'd go down to 188, then I'd go right back up to 190 and 189.4, and then back to 189 and back up to 190. So like there's been like the last 4 weeks or so have been kind of just it's not a stall, but fluctuations that don't show any progress. I don't know if I said, but the 33 shots that I had on Zepbound, I lost 25.3 pounds. So all that to say that it's been almost a year. I average about 0.8 a week loss, and I'm just going to keep continuing on. The side effects that I do experience, I experience waves of nausea, which usually means I need to eat or drink, aversion to eating, which I'm still working my way through. I still rely on bread to get any kind of protein in. I still have where I'm offered food because I haven't eaten and I really don't want it, which I know is not healthy. The types of meals that I have French toast in the morning. Sometimes I'll have what we call a Popeye egg, which is some people call it like toad in a hole or egg in a nest. It's where you have a piece of bread and you crack an egg and you make a hole in the middle and you crack an egg into it and you kind of fry the egg right in the toast. I'll have one or two of that. Or I will have a Greek yogurt smoothie with protein drink and fruit. That seems to be like a really good breakfast for when I don't want to eat something. And I might take an hour. Sometimes midday I'll get hungry and I'll either have, if we're out and about and we're near our ice cream shop, I'll have a soft serve ice cream. That seems to help really when I'm out and I feel like depleted. And then I also rely on deli meats. So I'll have like a half a sandwich, which is a couple slices of turkey and a couple slices of cheese with mustard. So sandwiches have really saved me. I usually have rye bread rather than white bread. I really do not like white bread anymore, although that's what my French toast would be. And then, we'll have hamburgers or hot dogs, steak, chicken. I just don't have a lot of it. And what I'd like to do now is I'd like to start relying on the bread less and relying on carbs less, the manufactured carbs, and try and go more towards a ketogenic diet, which I've been on in the past. It's just really difficult with not wanting protein. It's hard, and I'm just going to have to force myself to get used to it. The reason I want to do that is, although I've, lost weight, and I show that I've lost weight in different areas, I still have a pretty big belly. I do know that when I have done the ketogenic diet in the past, the first thing that usually goes down is your belly. Like any inflammation you have in your stomach area, your abdomen, that goes flat. That has not happened. Usually I'll get like pretty flat and more defined in my upper abdomen, where you can see that, the line that naturally goes down the middle of your body if you're in shape, that crease goes down through your abdomen. You usually see that, and I don't have that. My legs are skinny, my arms are fairly skinny, my face has gotten skinny, my chest has gotten skinny. So I'm thinking that if I can try and eliminate some of those extras that have been helping me and I've been using as a crutch, I'm thinking that I can maybe progress a little more with how I want my body to look. Exercise would probably help, but I go around my property, I garden, I restock my antique booth with furniture and whatnot, so I do lifting, I do chopping, I do digging. I don't do any formal exercise, and I probably just won't. It's not my lifestyle. I'm not going to get into injuring myself or having repetition injuries, which I seem to be prone to, and I'm just not ready to go there quite yet. Would love to get in some walking, but here in North Carolina, just like in many other parts of the world, we've been going through drought conditions, and sometimes I won't be outside for more than 15 minutes at a time, and before I decide to give up what I'm doing and go inside. the heat can have you dehydrated, can have you dizzy, ready to faint, and so I'm just not gonna put myself through any of that. So finally, I'm going to just put a couple pictures up here. It's my picture of me maybe an hour ago compared to two pictures that I had taken in July, where you'll see mostly, it's my face, so you'll see the difference in my face. But what I will tell you is I'm wearing clothes that I haven't worn in probably 4 years. And previously I had been this weight right before I gained all my weight back and then went to the doctor. So like I've been 188, pretty close to 180 before I rebounded right up, and then I was just like, I can't try and work this all back down on my own. So right now I'm in a very familiar place. I'm also in the place where I believe to be almost like my set point. And so it's going to take some due diligence over the next couple months to try and get below 180. And that's when I've made progress, but this is a place I've seen many times before. So I just really would like to be closer to like the 160s in order to, feel like it's not just the same old. And that's where I'm at. And we'll check in sometime in the future, let you know how it's going. And thanks for checking in with me. And I'll see you next time. Bye. A couple of the other things that I've been eating, I will eat Raisin Bran with milk. Now, anytime I have milk, it's a protein milk. It's I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, Dairy Life, something like that. There's a version that they sell at Aldi's and then also Walmart. It's milk that has extra protein in it. It's 23 grams of protein per serving. So if like the other night, my husband, he grilled chicken and I just didn't want it. And he kept looking at me and he worries if I don't eat. And it's his job to feed me, that's his self-appointed job. And so finally I just got up and made myself a huge bowl of Raisin Bran and milk. The Raisin Bran I got was fortified with protein, probably like 7 extra grams of protein in it. While not ideal, it's better than eating nothing. So that's another thing that that I try and have on hand just for those days. And then the other thing that we've been having just in the heat and kind of like in the evening is mixed melon salad. So it's just chunks of watermelon, honeydew, and cantaloupe. That's been a real good thing. And honestly, those two things I think also help keep me regular in the bathroom. And so, this video has been pretty straightforward, but what I do want to say is that it is so relaxing to not be in that diet mindset. I mean, I'm a little bit in the diet mindset because I'm falling a little bit short, I think, of the right way to eat, but not in the way of previous dieting, counting things down and what else can I eat and what's going to fit in my allotted calories and my allotted grams of macronutrients. I'm pretty low key about how it's been going for me, but it has been earth-shattering to not constantly have dieting on the mind and just go about my day. And then I was thinking another side effect seems to hit me the second day after the shot is just being tired. And so, it's usually either Friday or Saturday I'm wiped out, or I'm good for a little while and then I'm ready for bed at 7 in the evening. And I do enjoy my sleep anymore. And so that's that's where I'm at. It's been overall a good experience, and it's getting me where I should be and where I want to be, and to a healthier place. And so if you're on the fence about that you're going to do it or not do it, I don't think there's been anything extremely horrible, or I probably, well, I'm not going to lie, even if there was some horrible side effects, I'd probably stay on it, because I am 61 this year, and I can remember being on Weight Watchers at 18 and 20 and 23. I have, you know, when I got married 26 years ago, I was just trying to get down, and I was 168. And that was, you know, the best I can do, but I can remember that number looming in my mind, that that's what I had gotten down to. And I did, believe me, I would have liked to have been 30 pounds lighter than that, but it just wasn't happening then, and it hasn't happened since. And maybe it'll happen this year. We'll see. Thanks for watching.